Good evening. Welcome to our Kern County Planning Commission regular meeting of October 12th, 2023. Clerk, will you please take roll?
Commissioner Ashley? Commissioner Dunbar?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
Commissioner Skidmore?
Here.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Ms. Barker?
Thank you. We are moving on to commissioner member announcements or reports. Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes for September 28th, 2023. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No nays? No other. That item has been approved. Item D, cases withdrawn or requests for continuance. There are none. We'll move on to the consent agenda. There are 3 cases, and I'll pass this over to Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Chairman Skidmore, members of the commission. So these are items scheduled before your commission which are being recommended by staff for approval. The applicant has been informed of any special conditions and has no objection. The hearing on these items may be expedited if no member of the commission or audience wishes to comment or ask any questions on the case. The first case is case number 1. This is Williamson Act cancellation 2303, map 55. Our applicant is Magnolia Nut Company, LLC. I would note we have a typo in the agenda. The representative is actually Cornerstone Engineering for this project. This site is located approximately 1,557 feet north of State Route 46, west of Magnolia Avenue, within the Wasco area. The request is cancellation of a 0.55 acre portion of a larger 18.77 acre parcel of a Williamson Act land use contract. The staff recommendation is to advise the Planning Commission to recommend the Board of Supervisors adopt a resolution or recommended finding approving the cancellation to become effective upon payment of assessment of cancellation fee, direct the clerk of the board to issue a tentative certificate of cancellation and issue a certificate of cancellation subject to the payment of assessment cancellation fee and subject to written verification from the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department that confirms the applicant is in compliance with all the other conditions contained in the tentative certificate of cancellation and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. The next item on consent is case number 2. This is Williamson Act cancellation number 2306, map 55. The applicant for this project is Sown Blessed Land Company, LLC, by McIntosh and Associates. This project is located on the northwest corner of Leonard Avenue and Dresser Avenue, also within the Wasco area. The staff recommendation is to advise the Planning Commission to recommend the Board of Supervisors adopt resolution and recommended findings approving the cancellation to become effective upon payment of assessment cancellation fee, direct the clerk of the board to issue a tentative certificate of cancellation and issue a certificate of cancellation subject to the payment of the assessment cancellation fee and subject to written verification from the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department that confirms the applicant is in compliance with all other conditions contained in the tentative certificate of cancellation and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. The last item on consent this evening is conditional use permit number 60, map 100. Our applicant is Edwin Monroy. This project is located on the east side of Banning Street, north of Highway 58. The specific location is 4732 Banning Street in unincorporated Bakersfield. The request is a conditional use permit to allow the installation of 2 manufactured homes not meeting the age requirements, all located on a 1.01 acre parcel that is zoned PLRSMH. The staff recommendation is to approve the conditional use permit in accordance with the recommended conditions and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the attached draft resolution. That completes the reading of the consent calendar tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. I will now open it up to see if any member of the public would like to pull any of these items off the consent agenda. There is one. Will you please come to the mic?
I'm requesting be removed?
Yes, please.
So I believe it's the PUC 60 with the manufactured homes. Conditional use permit, CUP 60. Is that on there for the 2 manufactured homes?
I believe that's item number 3.
Number 3?
Mr. Murphy, will you confirm?
What was your name, sir?
Yes.
Noah Figueroa.
Noah Figueroa.
Okay, you're looking to remove item number 3?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Is there any other member of the public that would like another item removed from the consent agenda? And this is removed, so you'd like to have it removed from consent to have a discussion, otherwise it'll go over, the 2 items will be voted together.
Yeah, I have no objection with the other 2. Yeah, so.
Great. Okay, so it looks like there is no other items being removed. Does any member of the commission want to remove an item? Seeing none, we will vote on items number 1 and 2. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve number 1 and 2 as written and as suggested by staff.
I'll second.
Great, we will vote on screen.
Three ayes, one absent, one vacant. Motion carries.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy, are there any rights to appeal for the 2 items?
They're not, Chairman, as those items are both advisory and they will go to the Board of Supervisors.
Great. Moving on to item F, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons desiring to address the commission on any matter not on this agenda and over which the commission has jurisdiction. If any member of the public would like to step forward, you have 2 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Seeing none, we will move on to public hearings, which we have pulled off item number 3. Mr. Murphy.
Thank you again, Chairman Skidmore. If we can get some of the maps put up on the overhead. So this proposal is a request for conditional use permit, again, that would allow the installation of 2 manufactured homes not meeting the age requirements. Project is located on a 1.01 acre parcel that is zoned PL RS-MH. The project site in and of itself is an approximately 1.01 acre parcel. It has a map code designation of 8.3 and a zone classification, again, of PL RS-MH. Access to the site specifically is provided via Banning Street. The site area currently contains 2 mobile homes and a storage shed. Property to the north consists of miscellaneous dead storage. Property abutting the south side of the parcel is currently vacant, while further beyond are single-family dwellings. The east consists of a single-family dwelling, while area to the west is also vacant land. On June 7, 2022, the applicant submitted an application for the conditional use permit that would allow the mobile home that does not meet the age requirements in the MH district. Staff conducted a site visit and discovered that a second mobile home was also on site. Staff contacted by telephone and had a discussion with the applicant, and the applicant explained that the second mobile home was on site for repairs and renovations with the intent to resale that mobile home after all the updates are completed. Staff explained the need to address the second mobile home in the application and that the existing use on that property was a violation. The applicant confirmed that they would like to retain the second mobile home to use as additional dwelling unit, and they attempted to address all the violations on site. A violation hearing was held in accordance with section 19.114.020C of our zoning ordinance. A public hearing was held on August 17th, 2023 to consider the violations submitted by the applicant. At the conclusion of that hearing, the hearing officer instructed staff to continue processing the application with stipulations deemed necessary to affirm adherence to the requisite findings. The applicant signed and acknowledged that there was a land use violation on site and has abided by all of these stipulations that were determined at that time while this project was being processed and brought before your commission. Again, the project itself is a request for a CUP to allow 2 manufactured homes that do not meet the 30-year age requirement. As proposed, the primary residence is a 56-foot by 34-foot 1990 manufactured home, and the accessory dwelling unit is a 60 by 12-foot 1977 manufactured home. The primary residence exterior consists of a blue siding with white trim, brown shingle roof, and has a slight pitch. The accessory dwelling unit, or the second mobile home unit, the exterior consists of gray siding, matching the trim, and it has a metal roof. Currently, the manufactured homes do not have skirting or permanent foundations, as neither have been permanently installed at this time. Photographs of the proposed manufactured homes have been included in your staff report for reference. According to the proposed site plan, the primary residence will be located on the north side of the parcel, while the accessory dwelling unit will be located on the southern side of the parcel, approximately 67 feet south of the primary residence. The western side of the parcel, abutting Banning Street, is a combination of concrete and vinyl fencing with 2 metal gates for vehicle entrance and 1 small metal gate for people. The north, south, and east sides of the parcel are enclosed by a chain link fence. Water is proposed via on-site water well, while sewage disposal is proposed via a septic system. Staff has looked at potential similar cases in the area, and we have noted that there are 2 similar cases that have been authorized within the vicinity of this project that were similar in nature to the request before your commission this evening. As of the time of this writing, 6 comment letters have been received. Of the 6 letters, 3 letters did not provide any specific comment on the proposal. And then the additional comment letters were from Pacific Gas and Electric, the California Department of Conservation, and the Kern County Superintendent of Schools. None of those comments brought up any concerns that staff felt were necessary to warrant not recommending approval of the particular project. Staff has reviewed the proposed project. We do believe that the proposed use of the project is consistent with the existing zoning of the parcel and the surrounding land uses. Housing in and of itself is something that we're always looking to try to help facilitate when we can. Staff does believe that this project meets the requirements as specified in our zoning ordinance and are recommending approval. We do believe that the mobile homes, while they're older, are of sufficient quality that it won't be detrimental to the neighborhood. And we do believe with implementation of any of the conditions of approval, the units will not only be safe, but they will meet all the standards as required by law. So staff is recommending approval of the requested actions before you. If you have any questions, that completes our presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those or have our staff answer those. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy and staff. Is the applicant in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of the project? Great, please come forward. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening. I'm Daniel Sparsa, and I own half of that well for that property that you guys, and I got 3 properties right next to. And what I hear that he tried to set 2 mobile homes, and I don't think he's allowed, right? Because only one. There's 4 properties for the well, or the county allowed to have only 1 mobile home, correct? Not 2.
Okay, so you're concerned about the water wells in the property area? Okay.
Yes. And, you know, I'm not against to nobody, you know, hey, everybody got the rights to start it for the bottle, you know. I just, whatever's, to me, whatever's legal, follow that requirements for the county. I don't have nothing against you, but as soon as it's only one mobile home and the property to supply the water, because I don't think we have enough water to have 2 mobile homes and 1 property and have it used, you know. So that's my only concern, you know. And soon as everything, whatever. In other words, I don't want it to, my properties lose a value for something to go there. And but I want the county, whatever that you guys have to say, hey, that's fine with me, you know. I mean, like I said, everybody need a chance.
Yeah.
And I'm fine, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other member of the public that would like to comment on this item? Please state your name again for the record.
My name is Noah Figueroa. My biggest concern, I'm glad you guys are allowing these older units to be installed. My only concern is the width of the second mobile home. I thought those weren't allowed anymore. 12-foot wide is a very narrow mobile home. That will decrease property values. Nobody wants to see a single wide mobile home in a neighborhood. It just looks trashy. And it's not, I don't think they're permitted anymore. So even if it was a brand new 2023 single wide, you wouldn't allow it. So why would you allow a 1970 single wide? It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the only thing I'm objecting. If it was 2 double wides, I wouldn't be against this. But since there's a single wide, I don't think that that's a proper application of the CUP for this. That's all.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public that would like to comment on this item? Seeing none, we will close the public presentation and bring it back to the commission for any questions, comments, or action. Anything?
Do we actually have the applicant, Edwin Monroy, here?
He is here.
Okay, could we hear from him? Because we've heard from people that aren't agreeing with it. I'd like to hear from the actual applicant.
Sure. Edwin, do you mind coming forward? Always.
I know that my assistant is here and she can help translate. She speaks full Spanish. If you'd like, that would be acceptable with that. Cecilia, CJ, can you help?
Please state your name for the record and just share about your project.
Edwin Monroy Sandoval.
And Cecilia, if you could ask him basically to share why he wants to put this home and what he's wanting to do with this project.
¿Por qué usted quisiera poner este proyecto o esta casa ahí?
Para vivir, uso personal.
Es personal use.
Speak up to the mic, please.
It's for personal use.
Okay, both of them?
Las dos
Ya,
o una?
los dos.
Both of them.
Any other questions, guys?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy, will you go ahead and address the water conversation and the sizing of the units?
I will. Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the commission. So there are two things here. The first regarding the number of units. You are allowed to have a resident on any property in Kern County, provided you have access, you have water source, and you have some form of electricity. You are also allowed to have accessory units. So most developments or most projects, if you have a single family house, by law, we have to allow accessory units. So the concern regarding the overall number of units, I believe that this is still consistent with all of our requirements that we have on any other residential project. We have a condition specifically that says that the water supply must adhere to the requirements and be approved by environmental health. So I do believe that we have that issue taken care of as part of our overall project recommendation. Regarding the comment as to the width of the planning commission, or sorry, width of the proposed mobile home unit, I'm looking at some of our development standards, and I do believe that it would be appropriate for your commission to continue this item. I pulled up the zoning ordinance just to verify the particular zoning classification that this project was in, and I'm looking at some of the proposed development standards. I believe that if a requested for only a 12-foot wide mobile home was proposed, there may have been a variance requirement that should have also been proposed, which I don't see as part of our advertisement. So what I would do is I would recommend this particular project be continued at this particular time to a further date. Staff will then be able to verify the specific dimensions of the unit. I want to make sure whether I have a typo or I don't have a typo, and then if it is in fact needed that a variance to the size would be required, we would clearly have to advertise that particular unit before your commission could take any action on it specifically. So based on the comments that we received today, my recommendation would be is that your commission decide to continue this to your next available planning commission meeting.
Mr. Murphy, could we move through one of the units and not the other? Or does that make it difficult with the way that the action is laid out?
Chairman Skidmore, through the chair, you could. So I could look at the recommendation and I could make changes to where you could approve a single mobile home that doesn't meet the age requirements. And then we can strike out any of the language regarding the second unit. What that would mean for the applicant, though, however, is that they would need to start the process again from the beginning when it comes to the second unit. They would still have to propose a CUP because it is for an age-related mobile home. So again, that action could be done. I could work through that today to provide your commission with the appropriate findings necessary to allow that. I don't know if that is better or not for the applicant because it does trigger then an application to be submitted again. I think it would also require potentially your commission deny the second unit because it is a request that we have. So again, if that is something your commission wants to do, I would ask that you give me a 5-minute recess so I can look at some of the conditions. But in knowing that there's 2 requests, I think that it's easier if we just continued it for 2 weeks would be still my recommendation, just because of the complications with then how do we treat the second one? I don't want to continue a second one and approve a first one. I don't know if that would be appropriate either.
Okay.
I think just for ease of thing is the suggestion of going ahead and just continuing this is to make it easier for the applicant and stuff. So I'm going to make a motion to go ahead and let's continue this CUP due to staff being and instruct staff to go ahead and research a variance if a variance is required for the width of the additional second unit.
Before I second that, one question for you, Mr. Murphy. On the environmental health, do they look at it prior to planning, or is that prior to building permit?
For sure, they look at it prior to any building permit being issued. But in general, they review these as well, because if there was a large concern, typically they try to notice us ahead of time and say, hey, be aware, this could create an issue, things along those lines. If your recommendation is to continue, we will further have that conversation with environmental health and bring some of that information to your commission as well to expand on that particular question at your next hearing.
Okay, then I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll vote on screen.
Just for clarification, I'm sorry. I believe it was till the next meeting, but just to verify, your
Till the next
recommendation was to
meeting, yes.
October 26th is the next planning commission meeting.
Yes, sir.
Three ayes, 1 absent, 1 vacant. Motion carries.
Great. Just for clarification, that item has now been continued to October 26th, 2023 commissioner hearing. We are now on to item H, adjournment. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
And all ayes? Aye.
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 We'll see you at October 26th, 2023. Thank you.